The Todd Shapiro Show, Canada Laughs, SiriusXM 168.
You know, when you meet new sponsors, we're always grateful. Obviously, they help out the program and stuff. But sometimes you meet some too, and they're inspirational, and you love the story, and you instantly fall in love with the person behind the business or behind the thing you're promoting. And this is a case of that. And I'm hyping them up big time, so you better not be too nervous. But really neat story, man. I'm telling you, I got to meet this guy just recently, Matthew Sterling, and I could not believe the fact that he's a 25-year-old entrepreneur who's grown a necessity out of his life into something massive. I'm going to let him explain it all. Welcome from VeritasSpirits.com and Veritas Vodka, Matthew Sterling. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. That was a pretty sweet intro. You got to be honest.
Yeah, that was a lot there. And almost 25, not 25 yet.
Okay, I'm not even
October,
25.
October.
Great. It's 24 years old, as my kid would say, 2.5. So 20.
Barely 24.
Yeah. And here you are with you founded this company, Veritas Vodka.
Yeah, man. So bringing kind of Veritas to market was about almost 5.5 years now. Long story short, I got a celiac diagnosis when I was about 17 years old. Not that, you're allowed to drink at 17, but having the doctor kind of tell me, hey, man, like you can't really drink anything. You're kind of down to some Prosecco's, some red wine, and some really high-end rums. I just wasn't really into that, so I didn't want to go through life not drinking alcohol, to be honest with you. So I started looking up, like, gluten-free vodkas, and the biggest thing with that is that it can't even just be gluten-free. It's going to be celiac safe. Your typical grain vodka is going to be in the really high parts per million of containing gluten. Anything that's legally gluten-free is going to be under 20 parts per million. For celiac, that's still way too high. So I actually just came up with a distillation process to, one, make it from 100% Ontario corn, but two, to make it the craziest, smoothest vodka you've ever had. So the thing with Veritas is it's made from 100% Ontario corn. Each and every batch of Veritas gets sent over to the university to actually have a lab test to make sure that we're at 0.0 parts per million. Because it's really, for us, it's almost as bad as a really bad peanut allergy. We take it so severely seriously. But on top of that, we didn't want to just be the gluten-free vodka company. I wanted to be the world's best tasting vodka.
And it's a great taste in vodka because I tried some yesterday, and thank you for that. Why don't you tell us what celiac disease is for those who don't know?
So basically, celiac is anybody, we can't consume wheat or grain of any sort. So corn actually is a gluten-free celiac safe grain, but all other liquors is most of the time they're gonna have a basis of grain. It'll be wheat or barley or mixtures of different kinds of distillates. And for us, unfortunately, it wasn't good enough. So we really wanted to come up with something that was not only gluten-free, but something that tasted really well. And
I mean, does that mean you can't have like a cheeseburger?
Yeah. So the first thing the doctor. Break it down.
Yeah.
So going back into celiacs, you can't really eat anything.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I'm going to eat out, it's normally going to be a salad somewhere. Even in the salad, I got to make sure that the dressing, there's no thickeners, there's basically celiacs. You can't have any grain, any wheat of any kind of sort. You can't have any flour of any sort unless it's a gluten-free flour. And then on top of that, even if you do find something that's celiac safe, which there's not very many of, it doesn't taste very good. So that's where we really wanted to focus on. Let's not make this the gluten-free vodka. That's our basis. Everything Veritas do is always going to be celiac safe. Let's make this the world's best tasting vodka. Have it also be celiac safe.
I mean, what they say, man, alcoholism is the mother of invention. You know
Absolutely.
What I mean? Like, you got to have this booze. You got to find a way to get it to you.
Absolutely.
Well, no doubt. I know that for sure. It's more than just this creation because you're like a master distiller. You know the science behind the stuff. This isn't just like a 24-year-old kid who said, oh, you know what, let's go hire a team of people to go and create what I need. This was you making sure you created what you need, and not only that, something that is obviously very, consumable for the masses.
Yeah, man. So I actually started illegally ish. Well, no, it was illegal. I bought a pot still and I started messing around with it.
I don't even know what that is.
A pot still, basically, it's a small little pot. I mean, if you've ever watched the shows on Discovery Channel, Moonshiners.
Okay, sure.
So have you seen that? It's a smaller version of that, and basically learning how to distill. And my book was really Google, and I was looking at every single way that I could make a vodka or a moonshine. Because to be honest with you, most of the stuff that's coming off of the still, I could make a moonshine had I higher proofed it. But I really wanted to make a vodka. And the reason why I actually wanted to vodka is that vodka is actually purchased 80% of the time in hard liquor. So anyone who's going into the LCBO or to any liquor store and they're going into the liquor section, 80% of the time they're actually buying vodka. In the summertime, 80 to 90% of that time, they're actually be mixing their vodka. So that's why, coming back to what you were saying there, yes, I over 5 years and a couple hundred distillations, I literally came out with Veritas that it's literally 98% less harsh than any other vodka on the market. We've never lost a blind taste test. And that was really just, to be honest, we could have came to the market about, probably 2 years in. But it wasn't perfect, and I'm extremely OCD. I'm an extreme perfectionist. I wanted it to be insane. I wanted to have a better price, a better product, better ingredients, just with an overall better experience. We really, at Veritas, we want to give everyone a better alcoholic experience. If you're going to go out and drink, we want it to taste better. We want it to smell better. We want it to mix better. So Veritas can actually be mixed into a cocktail, like I did for you yesterday, at a 50-50 ratio. No other spirit can come close to us.
Meaning that you there's not like that, wah, that there's not that. It just, my goodness, this just tasted like, and you were serving me, it was watermelon juice.
Yeah, man.
And it just tasted like, I'm like, my goodness, this just tastes like watermelon juice. Like
so you watch me pour it. So the science behind Veritas, and I don't want to get into the science too much because
you don't want to give it away, bro. It's like that caramel secret.
I'm taking every note I can, man. Better product on the shelves in a year.
He's coming at you.
Hey, man, bring it.
No.
He's calling it Viritus 2.
You missed the beginning. I can't build anything. Never mind. Distill. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the biggest thing with this one is that it's scientifically proven it can be put into a cocktail up to a 50-50 ratio. And what that basically does is that bartenders have a better spirit because they can charge more for the cocktails. They can focus more on the gluten-free, the vegan cocktails, the dairy-free cocktails, the freshly squeezed cocktails, not having to worry about basically hiding us with sugar bitters that a typical spirit would have because we don't have that harshness. You can take a shot of Veritas. Depending on your palate, there is no afterburn to it. You get the beautiful warmth of a 40% alcohol, but it's coming down and it disappears. And it's really just the science behind Veritas. Veritas is not just, we're not making vodka like they've done for the last couple hundred years. We're bringing 21st century technology into it. We're bringing it at a better price. And this came from a need. It came from a need of being a celiac and me saying, if I can't buy it, I'm going to make it. And everyone said I was absolutely crazy. I quit my job and I had a really good job that I was actually underqualified to be at. But I wanted to follow my dream, and
you don't have to tell people that.
If they're listening, sorry.
Before I ask you, and I will ask you what Veritas stands for, I just can't help but thinking of my man Bilal here, who's a wonderful guy, but a virgin. And I'm like, man, you got to start hanging. He's still a virgin, Trevor, and we'll introduce Trevor in a moment too. And I was thinking, and all I kept thinking is, you got to hang out by the vodkas in the LCBO because that's where 80% of the people are going. But you have good likelihood of meeting someone over there.
I will give you a bottle for your next date. I promise you it'll go better.
He's also not a drinker though. He's that's a faith-based thing, but that's in total respect there. You don't know what you're missing out on.
Listen, I got faith in you, Bilal. I got all the faith you'll ever need, man. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna totally. Matthew Sterling is with us, and what does Veritas mean?
So Veritas actually means a few different things. The meaning that I really chose to stand behind was kind of power and overcoming. 5 years ago when I told only a handful of people that was looking at doing this, I was laughed out of every room that I kind of said it to, and I really kind of kept to myself after that. But coming to the market, choosing a name and trying to find a trademark and having something that works, by the grace of the universe, really, Veritas worked for us, and I was able to trademark that. And it means powerful overcoming, and it's really just a show of my journey to get here. When I told people that I want to make a vodka that's going to beat the biggest vodkas in the world, they said that would never happen. When I said I want to get a liquor license, at that time I was only 21, 22 years old, they said that would never happen. And my whole thing is that you really can do anything you set your mind to. You just got to put your head down and go to work. So powerful overcoming is what Veritas means, and I live by that every day.
I love it, man. It's super inspirational. It's all like
I love that the initial idea was doing it for yourself, but now you're going to help so many other people, and it's kind of like that, like every step of the way, like you made this vodka that's winning all these blind taste tests. You could have been making a moonshine that would create blind taste tests.
Yeah, exactly.
And you recently won like a cool gold medal award. It's not that he's an Olympian, but you can brag here.
Yeah, so I guess we'll let the cat out of the bag. So
was I not supposed to say that?
I mean, we're gonna do it now.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can delay it. I can dump it real quick.
No,
okay, I can take it out. Okay.
Yeah, so Veritas actually went to the World Vodka Awards in the UK, where it was countless submissions from vodkas, very famous vodkas from all around the world, and Veritas actually came back with the gold medal.
Some of the big names that people would know that there may be rappers behind promoting or something like you beat all of them.
I'm not trying to get sued here, but
okay,
but absolutely.
Oh, no, you're not gonna get sued. You won a competition.
What I mean by that is that the biggest brands in the world were absolutely there, and we're able to overcome that. And it really just shows that you take a smell of Veritas there. You're getting beautiful hints of citrus, a little bit of sweetness. They actually thought we were flavored vodka. That's how damn smooth we are. They really thought that we were flavored vodka, and they kind of heard me over their shoulder saying, "It might be corn." It was, and it ended up being us.
That's awesome, dude. And speaking of smooth, and speaking of flavor, man, he was a big friend of the show for like over a year and a half, and my goodness, we got to know him well, and we've remained friends off of it. And he's now an ambassador. And this was all a small world. Thanks for giving me the intro before, by the way. But I love how worlds come together with good people and good products and great vodka. And representing them is our old friend Trevor Burnett. Welcome back, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, that's right. Love it.
Yeah, now you just creeped a few people out.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's what you do. How, the incredible project, the man, how'd you guys part? What's going on here?
Ass over tea kettle, man. Just one day, I got this phone call from his colleague Jackie, who I worked with her in the past on a few things, and she said, I'm doing this vodka. And I was like, oh, really? And so she said, yeah. And told me the whole story with celiac and gluten free, and then introduced me to Matt, and he's a super guy, young, energetic, intelligent, all these great things. And I said, wow, if I can help you, let me know. And then I tasted it, used it in cocktails, and I realized, there's a real interesting thing going on here, right? Because the idea of mindful cocktails, because I've been reading a lot of books on mindfulness. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. But then I was like, you could have mindful cocktails where you're really thinking about what you're mixing in there in terms of ingredients. When you eat, you're supposed to be mindful. You're supposed to think about it. You taste the stuff and you smell it and you really enjoy the experience, right? So there's no reason why you can't do that with cocktails. And so
I mean, there's a reason why you can't do it at the end of the night.
Well, that's
true. You're very mindful and then gets mindless real quick.
Fraser, you are right on spot with that.
Drink responsibly, people.
Yeah, so I thought it was great. And so this is how it came together.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And now you guys are working together, and the social media is great. It's Veritas Spirits everywhere, right?
Yeah, at Veritas Spirits. We're going pretty quickly, so we're super thankful for all the love that everyone's showing us. The amount of likes and shares and people just commenting, it means the world to us, right? I mean, it was really scary to kind of put ourselves on Instagram, to be honest. I probably delayed us going on Instagram for about 6 months because I was so scared of probably people saying negative things, but it's been amazing, and our growth has been organic and really... It's been great, and having Trevor on us gives us a lot of legitimacy as well in terms of he's modest, but he's a pretty big deal in the industry. So we're very thankful, and yeah, none of this would happen without kind of our partner there, Jackie McCaskill. So that's kind of how Veritas really came to be something that could, she was one of the head buyers at the LCBO for spirits, and. We were doing some blind tastings, and I was telling her about the product, and then afterwards she kind of said to me, let's go for lunch. And we went for lunch, and she kind of looked at me and said, I think there's something here, you don't know me too well, but I think I'm going to change your life. And she's done that. And now Veritas is kicking ass and taking names. And, some of the first time that Canada's actually won an award like that, and we're going into some of the biggest spirit competitions in the world. We're going to go to San Francisco. We're going to go to International Spirit Awards in Las Vegas. And, if we can bring back some golds there, we're just trying to make Canada proud.
Fantastic. I once, when I met my current wife, I said, And it's not that I had a former wife, by the way, but I said, you know, you don't know me that well, but I'm going to change your life. And now she reminds me it's for the worse. But she changed yours for the better, obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a great story, man. I love stories of inspiration. You know, I just got back. I was telling all the boys earlier. Gary V's in town. You know, Gary Vaynerchuk.
I'm a gigantic fan.
Oh, so we just had lunch together. Like I sat right next to him for lunch. And I didn't even watch his thing because we spent an hour together, just me and him. But I'll take it. And by the way, I look so dopey in all the pictures you took. Thanks a lot. I'm like, oh, look, like really spaced out. And I love inspirational stories, and that's an example of that. Like a young entrepreneur, he's like 42 now, but started very young and just moved forward and does it. And the fact that you say you're a fan of his makes sense to me.
Oh, a huge fan.
You got to go out on a limb. You got to take life and grab it by, you know, whatever you grab life by these days, and go and make something happen for yourself. And this I like, and I'm sure it's what Jackie wanted to do, to invest in and grow this company with you. It's, to me, it's you products are great, and this vodka is amazing, but you also buy into people. And you know, you bought into Trevor, you bought into the show. You know, we buy into people.
Yeah.
And you, my friend, it's fucking awesome what you're doing, that. And I think there's going to be a lot of people talking about this vodka for a very long time.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, and yeah, it'll be it's just great stuff, and the bottle's cool, and the logo's cool, and the other thing which is neat. And I've started to take more pride in this within the last few years, and you know, I'm 44, and I don't think I would ever thought this way before. Age puts life into perspective for you a little bit, and you start to be more grateful the older you get, I think, at things. And what I started really appreciating is also just being like a Toronto performer to the world. And I now, this is a Toronto vodka to the world. Like it's a super good vibe going on here. And I say that because Fraser Young's a Habs fan.
The Todd Shapiro Show, Canada Laughs, SiriusXM 168.